A win is a win, a loss is a loss. It doesn't matter whether you get the final score right on the button. It doesn't matter whether you cover by 1 or cover by 100. A win is a win, a loss is a loss. But as a handicapper, you take it a step further. You know, I look back and just what has happened here in the last few days. On Saturday, I could not have been more wrong with Miami of Florida, 7.5-point home dog against Clemson as Clemson rolled 58-0. But then on Sunday, I come back with the Miami Dolphins as an equally strong 15-dime best bet release. And if you got my analysis, and I talked about it in Monday's video report, so I don't want to bore you. I mean, I gave you the game plan for the Dolphins in my analysis. I told you how the game was going to unfold. I was right on the money. Last night, again, I had another 15-dime best bet in the NBA because I told you the first 3 weeks in the NBA is the only time you have the advantage over the odds makers. And when I look at games and I narrow down the card, I always have a projected number of points that I think a team is going to win by. So yesterday I teased the play as the 17-point burial blowout. And I used the Boston Celtics, 10.5, 11.5-point favorite at home against Philadelphia. I told you the 76ers in my analysis yesterday going to be one of the worst teams in the league until they get some healthy players back on their roster. 17-point burial blowout. The Celtics win by exactly 17 points. Now, I'm the same guy that was on the wrong side of the Clemson, Miami, and Florida game just a few days ago. But I was just wondering, you know, maybe when I go cash the ticket today, maybe I'll get a bonus payment because I was exactly on the score. If only it would be that way, right? Hey, guys, this is going to be your Thursday video report. I improved to 2-0 with my complimentary plays in the NBA with last night's winner, with the LA Clippers getting the job done against the Sacramento Kings. So 2 for 2 in the pros. Lousy NBA card tonight, but still 122 and 87 run with the complimentary plays here over the past 3.5 months. And I've got plays coming up on Georgia Southern and Texas State and Sun Belt Conference action because I know all of you out there, you can't go on another moment today without knowing who's going to win this game. Also, TCU West Virginia and my thoughts on the toughest game on the board in college tonight, that being the North Carolina-Pittsburgh game. The big featured play today, half price off. It's going to be Jeff Benton, biggest NFL release of the season, part number 2. Normally, 100-dime play is his top-rated release. 150-dime, one and only 150-dime Thursday night game of the year. Your Dolphins-Patriots side. He just had a 150-dimer on Sunday, which you also got for half price with the Jets getting the cover at New England. And it's twice as big as a 75-dime winner on Monday night with Baltimore at Arizona. You get it for half price by using coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. Also today, Matt Rivers, just the 14th ever blank check waive the rating release in college football in the 12-plus years as a charter member of this site. It's your West Virginia TCU side. He went 8-3 with college football. Blank check releases last season, capping a great campaign with Ohio State in the national title game against Oregon. This play is just as strong. You save $60 by using coupon code MATT. M-A-T-T, his first name, all your other promos, etc., are over on the homepage. Let's get to the complimentary play since I've got a lot to cover here. Let's take a look at the Georgia Southern game. Listen, guys, you know, last Thursday, Georgia Southern suffered its first loss in Sun Belt Conference action since joining the Sun Belt. After 11 straight wins, they ran into a superior defense that stopped their one-dimensional triple option attack. That's all they can do. They can only run the ball. I mean, they scored a touchdown on their first drive, and after that, it was all Appalachian State. Trust me, I know since I was on the wrong side of the damn game. So now Georgia Southern is coming back home. They're a 21-point favorite against Texas State. This is going to be the 4th road game for Texas State. They're 0-3 straight up and against the spread in them. Now, granted, they certainly played stiffer competition. They lose in Tallahassee to Florida State, 59-16. They lose at Houston, 59-14. But you lose at University of Louisiana Lafayette, 49-27. Doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence taking you tonight as a 21-point underdog in this particular game. So that's why I'm willing to lay it with Georgia Southern. Again, that triple option attack they run, they're the #1 ground gaining team Whew, some days you just can't spit it out in the country this year. And yet they were silenced by App State last week. And they're going to go up against the Texas State rushing defense that allows 264 yards a game, 6.1 yards per carry. when they took on FBS foes this season, Division 1A foes this season. So you got the number 1 rushing team that's averaging 369 yards a game against a team that can't stop the run. My bet would be on Georgia Southern, minus the points in this one. Let's see. Also tonight, TCU. I'm going to go ahead and I would say lay the 2 touchdowns with TCU because at home this season they have been dominant. Again, you have to consider the competition. But, this is TCU's first home game in over 3.5 weeks. I think it's only their 4th home game so far this season. I look at this West Virginia team, and I was never that impressed with the fact that they got off to a 3-0 start. They were playing at home. Who did they beat? Georgia Southern, who I just talked about, a one-dimensional team, right? Liberty. Did you know Liberty had a college football team? Do you know their nickname? Because I don't. And Maryland, who, had their coach get the axe a few weeks ago. So the fact that they started 3-0 really didn't mean much to me. What has stuck out, however, is that they went on the road the first time. They got hammered at Norman. The Sooners beat them 44-24, and the game wasn't even that close. Baker Mayfield just destroyed them. And if Baker Mayfield can destroy them, Boykin for TCU can do exactly the same. Then they came back home, and you see the final score was 33-26. They lost in overtime against Oklahoma State, but I think Oklahoma State jumped out to like a 23-3 lead in that game. I mean, they really controlled it until late in the fourth quarter. And then they go to, where did they just go? Oh, Baylor in their last game 2 weeks ago in Waco. Now, granted, it was a big revenge game for the Bears. I had a 15-dime best bet on Baylor that day after they cost themselves a shot at the national championship by losing in Morgantown last week. They took no pity, and they absolutely hammered them 62-38, and that game wasn't even as close either as the final score indicated. I don't see this West Virginia defense. If they can't stop Baylor, I don't see how they're going to stop TCU. Yes, this has been a very closely contested series. I think 5 points total in the 3 meetings they've had as Big 12 members. 5 points have determined the winners in these games. I think they've all gone down to the last play, in fact. But I just think that this is a TCU squad that's playing in prime time, that has a chance to impress everybody who doesn't really see TCU. I mean, the last time you saw TCU on television was that atrocious Kansas State game, which they came back to win after being down by 3 touchdowns, right? So I would go with them in this contest, and I would lay the 2 touchdowns in that one. And then the Pittsburgh, North Carolina game. I don't know what to make of this particular game. I mean, Pittsburgh has certainly had a very strong season. I mean, 5-1, and the key for Pittsburgh this year is that they're winning the close games. They rallied to win at Georgia Tech last week. They're 5-1 this year in games decided by 1 score or less. Last year, they were 1-5 in the same situation. So Pat Narduzzi is doing a great job there with the talent that he inherited. Meanwhile, you got a Tar Heels team that, Larry Fedora came from Southern Mississippi. Everybody anticipated they'd really get this North Carolina program in motion, and it's been treading water the last couple years. It started this season with that disappointing loss in Charlotte against South Carolina, and we've come to find out that the Gamecocks aren't any good either. They've since reeled off 6 straight wins since that 17-13 loss, but, who did they beat in those 6 games? I mean, North Carolina, AT&T, Illinois, Delaware, Wake Forest, Virginia, not exactly murderer's row, and they were all home games. Their only road game in that stretch, they did win at Virginia Tech, but we've seen the Hokies aren't any good this year, so do you discount that 38-38 win? At the same time, their quarterback, the 5th-year senior, Marquise Williams, I think is his name. Yeah, Marquise Williams, 5th-year senior quarterback. He's had 2 outstanding games against Pittsburgh in the past 2 seasons. I mean, really, absolutely has played well here of late during the 6-game winning streak. He's averaging nearly 78 yards a game on the ground, averaging close to 8.5 yards a carry on the season. Last season against Pittsburgh, he threw for 276. He ran for 122. 2 years ago, he passed for 173, ran for 79. But this Pittsburgh defense has played very well this season. 21.6 points a game they're giving up. Only 308 yards a game they're giving up. It was an impressive comeback win for them last week when they rallied for the win at Georgia Tech. And you got 2 teams that are undefeated in ACC action. Again, this is a really tough game, and that's why, I had handicapped it. I leaned toward North Carolina, But I keep saying to myself, my God, when have the Tar Heels delivered in a prime time big game situation in the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years? I don't remember any of them. This is a huge step-up game for them. At the same time, I look at Pittsburgh and I go, they don't really do anything great. I mean, they run the ball effectively. They're mediocre passing, pretty stingy defense. But go back to what I first said. They're 5-1 this season in games decided by 1 score or less. Usually, they're either rallying late in the game or they're right there holding on late in the game. So that gives me a little agita, you know what I mean, when they're only a 2-point underdog in this game. Anyway, I handicapped it. I figured I'd pass on my notes for you in it. My best bet happens to be the Dolphins and the Patriots game today. And I can tell you, FYI, if you happen to be a package player with me, I already know that Benton and I are on the same side of that particular contest. So that'll do it for today. Best of luck to you guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.